Hi, this is Tara from Stranded by the Sea, and I'm going to do a yarn unboxing for you today of the shipment that we just received from SweetGeorgia Yarns. We are restocking our Superwash DK as well as our Tough Love sock lines from them. So we have some familiar colors that you might have seen before, as well as some new additions that are new to both the SweetGeorgia colorways as well as a few that are new for our shop. So I hope you enjoy. All right, so we will start with the Superwash DK yarns. I'll go through each one of them in order for you. But the Superwash DK yarns themselves are 100% Superwash yarns. They are 256 yards for every skein. That knits up with a size 6 or 7 needle is the most common, or at least what the ball band calls for. And you should get a gauge somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 22 stitches per 4 inches. So a very true DK weight yarn. It is a superwash wool, so it is a little bit easier to wash and care for. However, with SweetGeorgia yarns, these are all hand dyed and a lot of lovely color in there. So it is recommended to still hand wash and lay flat to dry, just so you get the longevity of the color itself and you don't get as much fading. So we'll go through these and I'll show you some of the new yarns as well as, like I said, some of the familiar yarns. We will start off first here with Smitten. This is one of the Color Splash colorways. So in the DK, you get the semi-solids as well as their Color Splash. This one, Smitten, is almost a variegated yarn. It is mostly white, so or creamy colored. It is a base of this light cream color. And then you have these long pops of very dark purple. That is very similar, I would say, to the ultraviolet color that they do. Some lovely magentas, and then their gingery or yellow color. And then those fade very softly. So there's dark, intense pops of color, and then those fade across the skein and get a little bit lighter. So you get a very nice long repeat of color with this one. So it knits up primarily light colored, but with those hits of different colors. As I said, this one is called Smitten. It's just a very lovely color. One of our favorites. We've had this one in the shop since we opened, so this is an old favorite. A new one that is similar to Smitten is the brand new Rainbow Sprinkles. And you can see that's a little bit more, the base color of it is a little bit more yellow, not quite as light creamy as the Smitten is in some spots. And then it also varies per dye lot. You can see this one is a little bit lighter than this one, even though these are the same dye lot. And then Rainbow Sprinkles is just that. It has a rainbow of colors in it for you. Let me get that Smitten out of the way, and you can see all of the different lovely colors that are in there. So there's blues, there's purples. If I open that up a little bit, you can see some greens. Oh, there's a nice hit of green there, some magentas, lovely wine colors. There's going to be some yellows, every color of the rainbow that's in there. And then this one is primarily a white base. It is very light colored with those little bit of sprinkled colors of the rainbow in there. So when it knits up, it's probably going to resemble quite a bit like maybe the texture of confetti cake. You're going to get a really nice white, light colored garment with little bits and sprinkles of color throughout. These are really short little spots of color. You can see that compared to the Smitten, which was a long repeat that faded into a lighter tone of the color, these are just very, very short little pops of color. Those should be, I would probably say, 1 or 2 stitches long, maybe 3 at the longest section. So you're going to get just little smitterings and smatterings of color throughout with the Rainbow Sprinkles. Next up is one of my very favorite colors from SweetGeorgia Yarns, and this is the Strawberry Tea. And Felicia has done just a tremendous job. We really admire her dye work. She's got a great eye for color, and this one has a lot of different colors layered into it. So it starts with this lovely rich red color with some ginger tone to it, but then inside that is layered a little bit of purple, a little bit of yellow, there's some greens in there, some really rich other tonal colors in it. So when it knits up, it isn't variegated. This is one of their semi-solid colors, but it has so much depth of shade and different colors in it that it really is just a beautiful tapestry look to it. I mean, you can see if I open up the skein there, you get just a beautiful play of colors with that. There's a great example if you follow Felicia's blog on Sweet Georgia Yarns. She has knit at least one sweater out of this particular colorway, and it's in just a stockinette color, but it is just gorgeous. So this color is one of our particular favorites. This one is Strawberry Tea. Next up is Anthem. And this one is another Color Splash colorway. It uses just 2 tones, so it's not the multicolors that we've had before. And I'd say that this one is all a little bit on the light side, but the colors are mostly evenly distributed through it. So you're going to get a very even distribution of the purple color here, and then that just fades to different tones of purple throughout it. So that one is Anthem. We have, the Anthem has been in the shop before, but we have a few new Color Splash colors as well. So in addition to Anthem, we also have Seedling. This one is a very bright and happy green. It's got a little bit of kind of Kelly green in there, and then also a little bit of almost turquoise tones mixed into there. So the turquoise isn't really coming across very well, but there's turquoise here. You can kind of see that. That might show a little better. So there's a little bit of turquoise mixed in with the kind of bright Irish or Kelly green. A really pretty combination. And this one should also be fairly well distributed between the 2 colors of the light and the color, but also it should be a very light bright color. Next we have Windswept for the Color Splash colorways, and this one does navy blue as well with the turquoise, very similar to the Swell color palette. You've got lots of nice tones of turquoise in there for you for Windswept. And then we have a couple of semi-solid colors left. Some of these are shop favorites. So we have Fizzy Water. This one is a really beautiful, bright, popping, bubbly blue. And it has a little bit of purple in it. And blues and purples never photograph or film very well, but there are little hits of purple that are mixed in there. So not quite as vibrant as the Strawberry Tea with the different colors that are in there. It's a little bit more subtle, but you do get that different play on colors that adds a lot of nice depth of shade and interest to it. So that one is Fizzy Water. And then next is Stealth Mode. And that one is fairly dark. It isn't quite a black. It isn't quite a navy. It's a harmony or marriage between the 2. So you get this really sort of stealthy, I don't know, stealth jet fighter sort of looking color. It's really pretty semi-solid color. There's a lot of different depth to this colorway. You can see kind of as I turn it that some of the areas that look blue sort of turn to the dark gray as we're shifting it. That almost looks black in there. It's just a really pretty color. So if you're looking for something that's not quite black or some interest besides just knitting something that might be gray, Stealth Mode has some fantastic depth of shade to it. And then the last one in the Superwash DK is also one of my favorites, and this one is Magician. And this one is has the similarities to Strawberry Tea with it, with all the different colors. It looks at first blush like a lavender yarn, but when you look at it more closely, it has some light pretty sky blues, it has some pinks, there's even occasionally, there's a kind of a mink color there, it even occasionally has a little bit of green here and there. It is a magical color. It changes every time that you look at it. I think you go back. This one has a little bit more pink in it. Every time we get it, each skein looks a little bit different, but they're all in the same harmony. Really beautiful, beautiful yarn. We just love Magician. That's one of my favorites. So those will go onto the shelves next to the other Superwash DKs that we already have, and those will be available also on the website as soon as I get them active. And then next we will shift to the Tough Love Sock, which we have in a few new colors. So we've added more colors with the Tough Love Sock than you have seen before. It comes in color splashes, it comes in the semi-tonals, semi-solids, so these are semi-solid colors where they're mostly one color. We've got the color splash where it's primarily a white with some color added to it, and then in the Tough Love Sock they also do the hand-painted colorways, which give you the really colorful, very pretty, variegated looks. So I'll go through each one of those for you as well. So first we have Magician. We saved it for last with the DK weight, but we'll start with it here for the Tough Love Sock. This is a slightly different base. So Tough Love Sock is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. It is a fingering weight yarn, so you get 425 yards of fingering yarn, and recommended needle size is 0 to 1, typical for sock knitting or fingering weight yarn. Stitch count for this is 7.5 to 8 stitches per inch. That would translate to about 30 to 32 stitches over 4 inches. So this one is the Magician. You can see because it's a slightly different base, it looks a hair bit different than the DK weight yarn does. And then that's also the case because they're just different batches of dye. So you can see that the blue takes a little bit differently. There's a little bit more nylon there is nylon in the Tough Love Sock. There isn't any in the Superwash DK. This one is 100% merino. So the dye it takes a little bit differently, and then each batch is also a little bit different. So that is the Magician. Then we also have the Fizzy Water. Again, you saw that one with the DK. Same sort of beautiful play of purples and blues in the Fizzy Water. Then we also have Deep Cove. This one is similar to Fizzy Water in the sense that it has a few different colors that are playing around in there. It is one of the semi-solids. It has a green and a teal that play together in there. So you're going to find some very nice deep ocean colors in there and some very lovely greens and teals. Every time it shifts around, it looks a little bit different. It's photographing very nicely. I think you can see how the greens and the teals and the blues go together really well. Just a gorgeous, beautiful color. All of these will knit up into just gorgeous socks. All right, we also have some Strawberry Tea in the Tough Love Sock, and here you can see there's a few more little spots. This one is quite different, so the dye took a little bit differently in this one compared to the DK. Let me grab that one back out for you just again to compare like we did with the Magician. So again, just differences in the dye batches as well as how the fiber takes the color. This one's got a little bit more purple in it. These skeins have a little bit more of the yellow and the ginger in it, but still very similar harmony of family. Love, love, love the Strawberry Tea. All right, then we also have some ginger in the semi-solids. It looks like I only have one ginger. We pulled aside one. I know we had some for a special order. I know I've got 3 of these left, so don't seem to have that one handy. But one nice thing I want to show you is that the ginger goes really well with something like Smitten, which is, I showed you this one in the DK as well. This one is in the Tough Love sock. But if you wanted to pair that together for a solid color to go with the Color Splash colors, with Smitten, you can pair that with either the purple, or we've got that lovely ginger color in there, and you can see how well those match together. If you want to mix and match different colorways, that is a terrific way to do it. You could add stripes, you could add, if you're knitting socks, you could knit this in the sock and use some ginger for maybe the heel and the toe to give a little color blocking to your sock. So really pretty options for you there. Then we also have some colors, a couple more Color Splash colorways in the Tough Love sock. There is the Anthem, which is a great color for socks. Comes up really speckled and pretty and nice. I've knit a pair of Hermione's Everyday socks out of the Tough Love sock in Anthem. And then we also have the Rainbow Sprinkles in the Tough Love sock, and these came out quite a bit more colorfully. So these are going to give you some really nice color shiftings to them, but you see again all those same color plays. It just looks like a rainbow of color going through there. These would make some really lovely pretty socks. And then finally we have a couple of the hand painted colorways. These are different. These are going to work up a little bit more variegated than you have seen with the semi-solid colors that are going to kind of be a whole palette of color. The whole garment should with the semi-solids, and with this one is the Color Splash, you should sort of get a single hue of color, or the same colorway throughout the look of the entire project will be similar with any of these. But with the hand-painted ones, we have a little bit of a different color throughout the entire skein. So this one is going to be variegated, a little bit similar to this shawl that I have. That's more, you're going to get lots of different color play throughout the entire garment with the hand painted. So that's going to work up the same way with the if you knit socks or hats or whatever you might have. So this one is Blueberry Jam. It has some lovely blues to purples to lovely pink colors to magenta. Really pretty transitions between the colors where they blend together. Really nice, pretty Blueberry Jam color. Then next we have Eden, which is similar to the Blueberry Jams. It's got blues and purples in it as well. Blueberry Jam has hits of pink, whereas Eden has these lovely greens and yellows to them. So these are fantastic, bright colors. These would make a really fun pair of socks. Oh, excuse me, not Eden, Tea Leaves. This one is Tea Leaves. Then next we have Rogue. Rogue is a very subtle color, so this would be fantastic for someone that doesn't want maybe some of the bright colors that you get with tea leaves, but instead want something, socks or even a shawl or something that's a little bit more subtle. These are very pretty, beautiful fall shades. You get some lovely dusty gray colors to wine colors, and then this has some really pretty, I wouldn't say that this is olive, but kind of a moss color in it, and then that shifts to a little bit lighter kind of the birch color that they have, some really pretty browns, and then a little bit of the bluish grays in there that shift over to the magentas. I really love the transitions. I've said it before, I'll quote Felicia again, the magic happens in the mud. So in the transitions where you're seeing the two colors blend together, that's really where the magic of some of these colorways, and especially the hand-painted colorways, comes together. And then I have one more to show you. This is our last one, another hand-painted. This one is Tapestry. So it has some really pretty pinks, some of that same dusty, dark magenta colors, but it's weaving in also the lovely ginger colors, the magenta that Sweet Georgia is known so well for. I just love how the ginger and the magenta fade into each other, creates that lovely sorbet color. It's just really pretty. That looks like a sunset. And then we have some magenta mixing in with the dark purples, and there's little pops of that evergreen color in there. I think on the screen it's coming across a little bit more yellow than it is. This is a really soft mossy color. It was similar to the moss color that we had in Rogue. So Rogue and Tapestry go very well together. They have similar base shades to them. Tapestry is going to be a little bit brighter. Rogue is a little bit more subtle shades. And then I have one last surprise to share with you. We have a customer who made a special order that came in. We are always happy to do a custom special order, but I'll share those with you as well, just so you can see what possible options are. This is one of the Sweet Georgia Yarns full-size skein packs. So it is a fade pack. This one, I believe, is Swell. So it goes from Deep Cove to Sea Spray to Beach House to Shoreline to West Wind to Pale Moon. It is the full gradient colorway from that lovely Deep Cove with the rich greens and turquoises that fades out lightly to the really pale moon color. So these are all done with 6 full skeins of Tough Love sock. And then the other one I have to share with you is the Voyage gradient, also in the full-size Tough Love sock skein. So really beautiful gradient fade pack for you. This one goes from Marine to Hudson to Watershed to Clearwater to Whitewater to Splash. And I think Felicia, again, just does a beautiful job with transitioning those colors. This is going to make a lovely fade shawl. Not sure what the customer has planned with it, but Nikki, I will be giving you a call, and these will be ready for you. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed and maybe found some inspiration for some lovely socks that you might be working on. Now would be a great time to cast on if you're thinking about knitting some socks for gifts for the holiday season. So come in and take a look at all of the beautiful new colors that we have on the shelves for you. Thanks a lot, and have a good evening.